Hey, Nick. Hey, listeners.
Hello, Warwick. Hello, listeners.
What's up?
Oh, I went to the bank recently. As you know, we've been changing over banks and doing a lot of work. Anyway, there was an old lady next to me at the teller and she asked me if I could help her check her balance. So I pushed her over.
G'day, I'm Woz.
And I'm Nick, sometimes Coxie, mostly Nick.
This is the Tradies in Business podcast, and we're here to share a bunch of tips, ideas, tactics that you can put in place to get change happening in your trade business right now.
If you're really lucky, we're going to entertain you with a few mum jokes and, more importantly, a bunch of fantastic guests that will educate you in all things you need to know about trade business. But we do promise to do it with a whole bunch of fun along the way.
I'm a self-confessed idiot, so strap yourself in and enjoy another episode. And I was not expecting that topic.
Well, I'd gone deep research trying to find a football joke and I gave up because I just went funny or they were about soccer or rugby. And I don't know that we have a lot of rugby listeners. I'm sure we've got plenty of rugby league and AFL listeners, but not many rugby listeners. And so whilst I was giggling away at the ridiculous rugby jokes and they were pretty good, I just thought maybe they weren't audience appropriate. And so I went deeper.
And pushed over
Found
an
a
old
granny
lady.
goat.
At the ATM.
Well, she asked me to check the balance.
I withdrew a fairly large sum of money from an ATM recently to go and purchase something for cash. Nothing illegal. It's okay. And I stopped in one of those suburbs where there's lots of face tattoos and unroadworthy vehicles parked on the street. And I was very, very conscious of who was around me, pulling wads of cash out of the teller machine. So hopefully the old lady wasn't, stuffing it all in her handbag.
Well, eventually she got up. She was okay.
All right. So speaking of balance, there's a way to get balance in your trade business, Nick.
It's to have the right structure and systems.
Oh, I feel like we've spoken about structure and systems before, but when we were talking about it earlier, we were discussing what people are commonly asking us for when they meet with us. And it's still structure and it's still systems. And so we thought perhaps we could unpack what the heck is even structure? What does structure look like? What are systems? What do I need them for? I'm told it's the Holy Grail. I'm led to believe it's going to solve all of my business problems. But what are they and how are they going to solve my problems?
Because I've heard it so many times from people, it feels like one of those things that people say without even knowing what the hell they're talking about.
I think often they don't know.
I need more structure in my business. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you mean by that? Well, I need more systems and structure. Okay. What does that look like? Systems and structure around what? And I reckon that's why more people don't do it because they actually don't know. They don't know what that looks like.
The thing, probably my most favorite thing, because there are two groups of people, right? They're the people that know they need systems and structure, and that's what they're looking for. And then there's a group of people that, I've lost where I was going. That's terrible. It's only Friday. I'm recording a podcast. I've already forgotten. It's like 10 a.m. There's a group of people that know that they need it, and the other group that aren't aware of what systems and structure are, which is not quite, I think, where I was going. And my point is, you all already have systems and structure in your business. You're working with them every single day. You haven't acknowledged that that's what they are. And so it becomes much easier once you realize that you have a structure and you have systems. It's much easier to change them to give the outcome you're looking for. So one of those systems might be a sales process. It's my favorite one that we talk about all of the time. And you already have a sales process. And we often ask our clients, well, map out what your current sales process is. I don't have one. Yeah, you do. What do you mean? Well, you answer the phone when someone rings and you promise to do a quote. You pop around there that afternoon, you give them a verbal and they say, yep, go ahead. That's your sales process. Now we're going to help you change it to create an outcome that you want. And you already have one. You've got one in place. And if you look at your business, you have all sorts of systems. You've got an operation system, a sales system. You've got a HR structure and system. It's all there. You just haven't acknowledged it yet.
I think for me, the issue is the word more. The people we talk to say, I need more systems and structure. And it's like, no, you don't. You need to identify the ones you've got, as you just rightly pointed out, Nick, and you need better systems and structure. You need to improve the systems that you're currently using. So maybe you're doing your quotes on an Excel spreadsheet or worse still, a piece of paper. That's a system. You don't need more systems. You need to upgrade your systems and structure. So if you're listening to this and you've ever thought, I need more structure around my business, or you've ever looked online for, trade business systems that you can use, I think you should stop doing that and look at what are ways you can upgrade the systems you currently have. So if you're doing quotes on paper, you could upgrade to a spreadsheet. If you're using a spreadsheet, you could upgrade to an estimating piece of software, a bit of cloud software or something. The sales process, Nick, if you currently answer the phone yourself, you don't take notes, and you can't remember who called you and when you promised to go and do the quote, upgrade that system to print out a simple blank bunch of templates and have a folder of them in the ute and pull one out every time the phone rings and write someone's name and job address down and what they want and what you told them. So that's just simple upgrades you can make to existing systems that can make a bloody massive difference to how in control you feel of your trade business.
Okay, so I think that this episode should really be about what needs to change for you to have upgraded systems, and that's your headspace, because that's really the key here to making a difference. You have to change the way you think for you to create a different structure. So if currently you are like just about every person we speak to and they feel busy and overwhelmed and the whole business is up in their head because it's how you're taught to do it as a tradie, you have to change your headspace for that then to become external. It takes a big shift for you to take what's up in your brain and get it down on paper, create structure around it, and continue to put it in place in a way that other people can do it. That's really hard. I need to acknowledge that none of what we're talking about today is easy. It's simple, but it isn't easy. And so that takes a big headspace shift. And how do you get the headspace shift? We recently spoke about it on another episode. The pain of what you're currently doing or the outcome that you're creating needs to be greater than the pain of making the change. It's the theory is as simple as that. You need to have reached a point where it is too painful to continue to have crappy quality customers, to feel stressed and overwhelmed, to be working ridiculous hours, or to have issues with your cash flow for you to want to start to make a change. Until you do, nothing changes, but you need to make that headspace shift. You then to be able to upgrade what you're currently doing.
Well, you need to be open to the fact that upgrading your systems is actually not that hard.
No.
But when we go around saying, I need more systems and structure, it feels like this big thing. It feels as big as an elephant, actually bigger. And worse still, you don't even know if it's an elephant or not. You can't identify it. It's more like a big black storm cloud. I need more systems and structure. And it's like this big cloud of stuff that I've got to work on at some point in my business life. And it never happens because we don't even know what's in the damn cloud. And it's too enormous for us to tackle. But when you choose to shift your headspace to, I need to upgrade some of my existing systems, even as I say that, and that's convenient for me to sit here in a nice, comfortable office in front of a podcasting microphone and say, well, that just feels a whole lot better than I need more systems and structure. I've got chaos or, I'm so disorganized. That it's not it's not the Grand Canyon that you have to cross to get from where you are now to a much better situation. And so, Nick, you talk about that comparison of the pain and suffering that you're experiencing now of, we just spoke to a guy this morning. He gets up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, or he was, old business, to smash out an hour of paperwork before going to site and busting his ass on the tools for 8 hours, then come home, try and squeeze a bit of paperwork in, then do dinner with the family, and then get back in the office to do more paperwork. That's not a lack of time. That's not poor time management. That's a lack of systems. But it's not just a lack of systems. It's just crap quality systems, inefficient systems, and that they're not huge upgrades to actually improve that. But you have to want to, Nick.
Can we talk about what systems are? I want to relate it to a personal thing, brushing your teeth. We all have a system for brushing our teeth. We all brush our teeth in a specific way just about every time we do it. We might occasionally change it up because the dentist tells us to do something different or because we've read a thing or whatever. We might try to change it up, but it feels weird, really weird to change the way you brush your teeth. And yet it might be taking me from where I am now, and I'm not saying this is me in particular. I'm speaking generally, perhaps I've got a couple cavities or there's something else wrong with my dental hygiene. So in order to fix that, I need to change the way I brush my teeth. So I've got to shift up my system, upgrade my system. Feels weird. It's uncomfortable. I don't really know what I'm doing. I've got to try it a whole bunch of times before it really starts to feel comfortable. And then suddenly, before I know it, I'm brushing my teeth in a more effective way, a new system that means that I no longer have cavities or whatever other problem that we're imagining here. And I've created a change. That's simply what we are asking you to start to do within your business. Now, I want to recognize and validate that most of you don't know how to do that. It's not your fault. You're not taught. We talk about this frequently. That is not your fault. It is your responsibility to go looking for how to change that. If you want a difference, if you want it to be different than it is now, it's your responsibility to go and look how. You're doing that by listening to the podcast. You've already taken a step. You're interested in growing your business. You're interested in improving your business. You're interested in changing your results. And here we are today talking about systems and how you can start to make a change. So if you were to look around you and think about through your actions for today, can you identify the systems that you've worked through today? There'll be some operational systems if you're still on the tools. There's probably some sales and marketing systems that you've just worked through with some of your clients. There'll be client experience systems that you need to think about. For many of you, there'll be team systems that you're working in. There's lots of opportunity for you to start to make tweaks and changes. And I think the very first thing you can do is identify which one you need to change first and write down exactly what you currently do. Like I said earlier, if that's pick up the phone, rush around, do the quote that afternoon, give them a verbal price, get an agreement, lock in the job for the following week, that's okay. Just write it down. And then you can go looking for what needs to change to get you a different outcome.
And here comes the next step. The reason Nick and I are able to continue to do this podcast and pay our mortgages and everything else is because people don't know what to do next.
That feels uncomfortable.
So we have built a business on teaching you what to do next. It's like, okay, great. So I wrote down my current system. It still sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Now what? Well, we help our clients answer that question. Now what? And it starts with jumping in on a free session with us. It's how we get to meet you. It's how you find out if we're legit or not, or if we're full of shit. There you go. There's a tagline. Legit or full of shit. But you basically jump on a free session with us. We'll ask you a bunch of questions. You tell us a bit about what's going on. And we say, you know what? You could absolutely change this. All you need to do is 1, 2, 3. And we can guide you through that, just like you guide your clients through making decisions about your trade and the services and solutions that you provide, whether you're a plumber, a landscaper, whatever. That's what we do with your business. We help you renovate it, tune it up, get it the way you want it. And it all starts with a free chat with us. You can book one on our website if you go to tradiesinbusiness.com.au. Not everybody we talk to ends up joining our program. In fact, most people don't, because they're either not ready for what we've got, or maybe, we're not a fit for you. But if you don't book it, how will you ever know? If you keep doing what you're doing currently, guess what results you're going to get? So, Nick?
There used to be a tourist campaign that would talk about.
If you never go, you'll never know.
No, is that what it was? Was it?
Yeah, the NT. It was before the ridiculous current unsanctioned NT campaign.
It's very clever. They do
Never.
marketing very well in the NT.
That's because they don't give a toss. So yeah, jump on a chat with us and see what's possible. If we can't help you, we'll let you know. But as I think you said it well earlier, Coxie, if you're listening to this podcast, clearly you're searching for something.
Mm-hmm.
And, perhaps we can help point you in the right direction, draw a line on the map and get you to where you want to go a bit faster and without, like we talk about, costing relationships, health, sleepless nights, missed time with the kids, all that crap that we'd love for you to avoid. So book a chat. I dare you. And we look forward to meeting you online.
Hooroo.